What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Man, this gotta be trolling. Former WBO lightweight world champion, superstar boxer, Keyshawn the Businessman Davis. 14 wins, no loss, no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout. Now, I have 8 people sent me this. I can't find it. I don't know where the interview is. The conversation took place. But Keyshawn Davis, as you see there, he makes a statement that when he was sparring, the former pound-for-pound king, the 5-division world champion, 3-division undisputed world champion, retired first ballot Hall of Famer, superstar, Terrence Bud Crawford, who is 42 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout. Keyshawn Davis stated that he beat the brakes off of Terrence Crawford. Scooby? And not only, like my brother Big Cartoon 5 Trey always says, Scooby? With that said, he says that his close friend, Terrence Crawford close friend, and fighter, title contender, Steve So-Called Nelson, was recording, and Terrence Crawford made Steve Nelson delete it and take it down. Right? Steve Nelson, as you can see, he responded. And he says, I still got the footage. And then he puts the frowning emoji face. Like, in other words, don't make me put this footage out. Now, Keyshawn is going on this tour where he is collecting the souls of YouTubers, social media influencers, celebrities turned boxers, whatever, right? He's going on his tour, going to these gyms, and he's sparring these people, and he's beating the brakes off them, right? Anybody that thinks that they can and should be competing in the sport of boxing and from a different walk of life, he's going in there and he's dominating them, right? And he's on this tour on his own social media where he's just keeping his name relevant. And I did a video yesterday where I said Keyshawn Davis is being frozen out, right? And I personally think that Keyshawn Davis is just trolling. I think he's just trolling at this point, right? And he's just looking to get the attention, the fans, just trying to make headlines, just trying to, go viral. Remember, he was doing an interview with these 2 young ladies, and the young ladies didn't know he boxed, and he was explaining to them that he's a fighter, he boxes. And then one of the young ladies said, oh, you box? Who you gonna fight? And he said, Floyd Mayweather, right? That's the first thing that came to his brain, Floyd Mayweather. And they was like, oh, good luck. Clearly they didn't know who Floyd Mayweather was either, right? And when he was walking away, he said, man, I said Floyd Mayweather. And he looked around, he was like, man, I ain't trying to fight Floyd. Floyd would beat the brakes off me, right? Now, he used other words. And I think this is the same scenario when it comes to Terrence Crawford. But the fact that he said he beat the brakes off of Terrence Crawford in sparring, and Steve Nelson, so-called, was forced to delete the footage. And then Steve Nelson said, I ain't delete nothing. I still got the footage. They have a relationship where I'm sure they can, joke around with one another. Terrence Crawford is not a joking type of guy when it comes to situations like this. He's just simply not, right? So this is what, as you see, he says, me and Bud. So somebody was asking him how the sparring session go with him and Terrence Crawford. He says, me and Bud. Then he goes, I blanked him up too, but he ain't going to tell you that. His friend Steven Nelson, as I said, got the footage, but he made him delete it. that don't even sound like Terrence Crawford, man. It just simply don't, man. Right? It just simply don't sound like nothing Terrence Crawford would say. And again, I'm a huge fan of Keyshawn. You guys know this. I don't have to keep saying that and reiterating that, but I'm a huge fan of Keyshawn Davis. And I think that Keyshawn Davis is uber talented, but I'm going to say this. Ain't no way on this green earth that Terrence Crawford was taking it serious and Keyshawn Davis was beating the brakes off of Terrence Crawford. I seen Keyshawn versus Nair Albright. I seen Keyshawn with Jermaine Ortiz in his last fight. Terrence Crawford is on a whole different level. Now, if Terrence Crawford was working on stuff and Terrence Crawford was just giving him the benefit of the doubt and just, going through the motions, and maybe, and I'm not saying Keyshawn, because Keyshawn is very, very talented, uber talented. So I'm not saying Keyshawn didn't have moments. I'm sure he did. And I'm sure he got the best of Terrence Crawford in spots because he's that talented. But he beat the brakes off of Terrence Crawford? No, sir. No, sir. I have been in and around 1,000 gyms in this boxing business and 1,000 people that sparred Terrence Crawford. And I heard some people say they got the best of Terrence Crawford. I heard Brian Norman got the best of Terrence Crawford a few times. But beat the brakes off of him? No, sir. Absolutely not, sir. No, sir. I can't believe that. And if this is real, Steve Nelson going to have to drop that footage. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. And if he beat the brakes off of Terrence Crawford, and he beating the brakes off of any and everybody. And I'm not saying Terrence Crawford walk on water, but at this stage of Terrence Crawford's career, where Keyshawn is, at this stage of his career, he beat the brakes off of Terrence Crawford? No, I got to see it. I got to see it. No, sir. But let me know what y'all think, man. I think Keyshawn is just trolling. But drop a comment in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. I'm gone. Peace.